We are back, and Breeze is on the docket between MIBR and NRG. We have reached map 3, and the compositions are on your screen right now, Vans, for what we are going to see.
Yeah, and I think after the results of the first map, not many people would think that this would go to a third map, except for maybe Jonah P.
Jonah P.
Right? But now we're here, and it's going to be continuing the storyline of the unknown, I think, at this point. We get into Breeze, where we haven't seen MIBR play it yet, but they are playing a composition that's not really out of pocket so far. We've seen other teams run this in the past, but not mistaken, Furia does so with this composition and quite well. But this is where we see another switch. We get to see Kiko back onto the Neon.
So scary.
The other mention of the unknown was that if you're trying to study the tape of NRG, versus Cloud9, it was nothing but NRG hitting A, hitting A, hitting A.
Yeah.
But the reason of that conversation is it was mentioned by Mata and by Bonkar in the post-match interviews, where they weren't used to playing against a breach. So you're trying to learn and practice as you go. They're already confident they're going to beat C9 in the first place. So they just went into, let's try to figure out where is the best places to plant, where we can flip the map. We have some different ideas of how they want to play their attack side as well. But thankfully, they play on defense first, when they looked quite strong.
They did. The pistol round decision to push into spawn with everybody got a little funky, but they cleaned the rest of the map.
Yeah.
Honestly. And now we have to see how MIBR is going to react with their attack side, or I should say push onto their attack side, and how NRG reacts. Ospas back on Jet, not on the race. You know the comfortability is going to click there, and with Zekan on Yoru. So we finally get to see these two dance together and what we'll get out of that duelist composition.
And then their best agents so far in the past couple of years, right? So
and their best.
This will be fun.
And Mata's got his work cut out for, or Kiko and Mata got their work cut out for him, I'd say. But to the same vein there, they worked so well last time we saw them on this map, so.
And thankfully, Kiko looked comfortable as well on that map against Cloud9. He was just sliding all over the place, judging here and there. Finger blasters in the front of that site, just flooding into the retakes for the side of NRG. So again, the defensive side for this team of NRG was quite good. The other thing you have to pay attention when you're watching this game for NRG on the defense is how they do their setups initially, especially around Scuba in terms of the walls. I think I've counted like 5 or 6 different walls that he throws onto the defensive side, which really throws the attacker side for a loop of where the main positioning could be, or also when is the right moment to force that utility. And this is one of the walls already, as you see, from NRG, trying to keep them, MIBR, from really crossing that line and getting real information as they're going through the toxic screen for an actual hit. So MIBR, realizing that wall, they want to play a little bit more slowly at the start.
And where does NRG play? Either in front of that wall or right next to it to make the plays. A third one to come out mid, as well as Ethan was there to protect and cover. The gate crashed back all the way over towards Mazzino, so this may be a touch and go. Unless they get a kill. They're trying to confirm something. It might be a peek from Kiko.
Yeah, great opportunity to contact play. It's missed though, but that should still sound the alarm for MIBR to move in.
Aspas with the creep in, a little silent last game, and he shouts to start this one. Scuba takes him down as they get a quick trade on for the 4v4. But remember, we still have a little bit of space over here for Mazzino.
Exactly. You still have the insert of Mazzino at the bottom at the same time, as you've just mentioned, in the recon ping 2 on that B site, so they know they have some room to work with, some time to work with. And it's still another contact play, walking back down towards that middle and looking to finish towards A. This is so far a perfect read and a perfect play, because NRG are playing soft side A site to try to play that flood retake that they're, by the way, really good at, as we just mentioned, on this map.
Yeah. Not too much util for that retake, so they're going to have to do it in numbers. Smokes to cut off the site, and they just have a gigantic playground once they clear this to mess with and set up that garrison to get themselves locked in for the post plant. MIBR taking the first round down to red on the timer, and they get what they want on A.
Strongest plant you can have right there too. Not tucked into the pyramid, really on the outside, so you can play towards main, because they have that freedom to do so as they went and walked into an open site.
Kiko has to break crosshairs. Dark goes out, and it's going to be heads torn. Oh my gosh, the clicks. Just one clicks. Great job by MIBR. Very sturdy in that defense and all throughout pistol round here on Breeze.
Yeah, just very good as well for MIBR in the post plant to not stay tucked in on the inside. They weren't really playing off-site for, the grab well towards the end. They've already gained so much space in the beginning, and the way that they re-cleared from elbow back towards middle, and they've already identified 2 players on that B site, they already have to think that a rotate's going to be coming back through middle. So what do? You go back and reclose that gap with the crossfire setup, and there was no way for NRG to get through.
Pistol. Holy. Wait, but now...
Wait, but what?
Wait, but what? Oh, we'll never know. All right.
But it was a clean pistol for MIBR, for sure. Ain't eco for NRG, and really we're just playing full classics, trying to keep economy on our end flowing to potentially maybe get an op up as soon as possible onto Lada.
Yeah, NRG in very one-for-one trade areas right now with a long-range backup. It doesn't look like anybody's going to bite just yet. Slow movement up. MIBR went full contact into that last round. It looks like they'll do a bit of the same, just getting some cover in mid for themselves.
Jump spot. I mean, Ospa sees him. He's just waiting for the reflood from elsewhere.
Oh, look at the guy. Little no-scoper. And they're pushing. They're saying, wait, come back and play. NRG runs down mid, and they're actually able to gun one down. Is that, can you protect this is the question. Almost. Scuba's going to be able to grab a weapon as the shock dart lands at the feet of Verno. It's just a 2v3.
Well, they're coming to play. Scuba picking up that Marshall and getting another. It's a
Marshall.
2v2. Mazzino might be walking into Brock.
Oh, he draws Brock with the Bulldog.
It's okay, Zekin has a Vandal, right? It's all good.
It's second, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
No headshot.
Oh!
Okay, there's a headshot.
He got tagged. That's quite a bit of damage.
He's doing a good job just staying tucked in, so
He
playing the
knows.
clock to his side. They're guaranteeing the round.
There it is. Zekin's good for it. Even hit a little sigh of relief there, knowing that the pressure is bearing down on him, and this is a very important round.
Exactly, it should have come down to that.
It should not have come down to that.
And I like how we approach things. You were talking about the door here on that side of middle before we got into the cast. The amount of paranoia could set in when somebody's playing that door. And it was actually Aspas with that Marshall, so when you hear that noise and it never closes back, you're afraid somebody's really watching with that scope, so nobody's really peeking out.
Yeah.
So NRG's just looking for the contact play to flash to the window and crunch through. And it worked. They did some great damage as MIBR tried to rotate across towards that A site. They took full control of that middle and almost made it very winnable on their side.
Yeah, the through the window play is clean, especially when you can catch a team off guard with that. Viper wall towards right side again, actually a little bit farther in this time as it looks like they want to stay for this fight. Zeno clears Motto with the wall bang there as Scuba wants to stand true in sight. Oh, that's tough. He gets very good help. What assistance coming in from Kaiko there to help on the detection. And they're still trying to make this fight just on the corner. Zekin gets another two. And now they're trying to fight Brock off the corner. And he is not going to give him more than just a shoulder each time. So Tex takes the whole pie for himself. And now it's just Ethan moving in on two. Doable for Ethan here. Has a few stars to work with to create the site that he wants to see. That's a full smoke coming through.
You're forcing double bubbles, and he's trying to re-clear back towards B main potentially, but it feels like he misses that timing with that smoke disappearing on that left side. So now the question marks are up. Where did NRG, or sorry, where did MIBR go? So she's going to have to wait to hear for that plant.
He has a bit of a battle star he can use in Dismiss to get himself in if it's necessary, but he's just going for the shots, and so is Verno. His first kill is a big one, and it's going to capitalize on the round for MIBR.
Stay stoic in the 1v1 after winning it against Zekin, who's been hot since that second map was split. And that said, it also comes down to that final moment again for somebody on the side of MIBR to try to clutch it and keep the dream alive. Because how does Zekin stay alive there, by the way? He got stunned, falls back from the wall, and still gets 2 kills on top of it and back to Castle.
Vant, it's been a painful few rounds.
Yeah, especially for NRG's camp for sure.
They're on classics again. Even with the deaths, MIBR still buying pretty true here, and Aspas goes for the value purchase of an outlaw.
I mean, they are expecting some sort of play once again, and again, I'll have to go back to MIBR. Aspas just opening and closing that door, and now you're making sure you're re-clearing on the top of elbows so that you don't go for these type of trap plays, and as it's been cleared out by Zekin, that might pull the rotates back on the B site, especially if they have contact on A. So they're going to walk in to spot that first and scout it.
Ooh, yeah, that's an ability use just seen on the edge, I think. Oh, yeah. Cleaned up by Tex.
Wait, they're still walking into that. The spikes making their way towards A main.
Yeah, they haven't cleared it yet. I think that might have a change of heart in the play as the 4 members of NRG now gather in sight. We have Zekin coming all the way back from his elbow excursion, and the kill's coming through. Aspas, 1 bullet, 1 kill all day. He is going to go down, though, as they don't know what's happening on the right. Brock gets a few cheeky classic kills, but MIBR is still smothering NRG.
Yeah, in the end, disrespect them.
Yep.
Don't try to fall back and play the clean game of Valorant. Just brute force your way through and just cycle these ults. You are playing the anti-eco for MIBR here. So now they load up 3 ults going into the round number 5. That was just an easy pick from Tex in the beginning. You just talked about the orb coming through, and it was just thrown out by Mata, so they knew that it was close. They open it up and don't really give a chance here for NRG to go for a trap play. So money's back, though, not enough for an operator.
I'll handle this.
Early ult from Zekin to clear out the A side, and it'll be a 5-man hit on that spot.
Cosmic Divide, bar split on the left.
Nice try.
He chooses the movable target, and Kiko says, no thanks, I got back up. Another one comes out, so we're crossing the galaxies here. Oh, Mata, knowing they made the door play earlier, thinks that it might happen again, and beautifully calls that one. Now it's Zekin and, or I'm sorry, MIBR and squad with 3 left alive here. They don't even have the spike with them.
Yeah, I mean, right now it doesn't feel like, or shouldn't, see the push down from Mata. Because with that wall coming up, he controls that space. The gap is currently towards elbow, where they could walk up towards mid, which is why here you're seeing Kiko looking all the way back towards that spawn still. There's a huge gap around this spot for the attackers to take. We have the smoke on the elbow too, just to support. Now finally a TP as well from Mata to support Ethan on site.
Coming in, playing around their smokes. That's going to give a little bit more room to Verno to try and squeeze something out of this wall, create the pressure where he can get through. He checks the space to the right. A drone hits him on. Ooh, that was so perfectly. What precision coming in from Ethan. And the spike is down. 13 seconds. Doesn't look like it's going to be possible this time. And NRG just play the hide and seek game to get this round in their favor. Beautifully done.
Just tried to play a high risk, high reward play on the side of MIBR on that hit.
Yeah.
That wall across, we'll talk about in the next round, but they were trying to have the dimensional drift TP outside of an astral wall and swing out for a kill. And unfortunately, the sprays missed. Couldn't get that kill onto that site right there. I think that was Scuba we just saw, and he's able to take him down. So that had to cancel out the MIBR play. They tried to re-pivot in the mid-round, but they just lost too many players in the process as they're trying to re-hit towards B. So that wall that they had across, they just tried to get the TP right at that angle for Zekin to come out of.
A little bit of what Brock was saying earlier. They're so late in these rounds, and MIBR starts to flex that late round again. I mean, the comment was about defense, but it still applies here to attack. Into the site. A quick hit. They know one is close, and Aspas says, by the way, I'm at doors. Easily cleans up one as they get the Hunter's Fury from Verno to tag a few. A little bit of team damage, but it doesn't matter. They're getting exactly what they need, but it's not planted yet, and NRG's made quite a move across the map.
So many slices across the board, creating question marks too. But as soon as the walls come down, finally, MIBR knows that they have space to work with, and that the money's still pretty decent for NRG to try to work with something here to attempt the retake.
Yep.
Really comes down now to Mata to slowly creep up here, but as soon as he makes it towards main, that will probably activate now all 3 of them trying to flood back. It'll be all individual fights on the side of NRG.
Let's see if they bring up the X walls again. Once this goes down, it seems like there's a lot of gas to work with here, and some of them start to go up. Mata, at the perfect moment, finds Mazzino and gets to hide behind the wall after the fact. 7 bullets left, makes it count. Gets a reload in as well as he's still creating the pressure for the rest of the team. Now coming from spawn, Mata with 3, Mata with 4. As the pressure on site's created, it's still not enough to get to the spike in time. MIBR lose a lot, but hold off.
Just great delays by MIBR, but again, it had to come down to that. He flashes to announce his presence, and then you see the other players moving through. And as they're delaying with that X wall that you were talking about here with, it's just not enough vision for the other 2 players of NRG to really help out Mata. So yeah, he's getting 4 kills because everybody's moving into group together.
Oh my god. You guys look solid though, I'm not gonna lie.
And that's it, right? The fires, the shots are still there for the side of NRG. It's just right now, it's when we talked about pulse plant scenarios that didn't really work out for NRG. That was actually when they were playing their attack side into pulse plant versus Cloud9. This time it's the retake that's a little bit harder to take against MIBR.
And we're seeing a huge mentality shift in the Kiko go shotgun. And now the Kiko op. Mata goes down to Zekin here, and elbow as Kiko still has a line on mid, but he's not going to find much. The play is here. It's up to Scuba once again. We've seen some very stellar sight holds, and he already delays 4 people, but will he be ready for this gate crash that's going to happen behind him? Nice hide. Oh. Duck and cover.
I think they should still feel that there's somebody there, though. This is a common spot.
Up and over. Aspas is already atop the ladder. Should be able to play that one well towards sight, and it looks like they'll be happy with the situation here. They have to worry about Brock, though. He's still trying to make plays in the back of the site. The team allows him to do that, knows it's safe, knows it's comfortable for him, and he gets it onto Aspas. Knows exactly where Tex is for a moment.
Yeah.
So that's going to fizzle out as he doesn't enter the smoke right away. Beautiful. Verno's been doing that across the series for them, catching these lurker flanks to come back across. What? Somehow he's still in sight. He still hasn't been identified, just living next to the Viper wall, and eventually takes it out. Brock doing work right now. They're going to know exactly where one is. They just have to identify where Zekin is here after the darts come through. Brock is on it, but he gets taken down finally, and Zekin's able to clear out Kiko. Really methodical movements on the defense, but MIBR was able to work around it.
Yeah, it's just now 2 rounds from MIBR that they're just really jiggling and running that clock down and forcing the hand of NRG, the pressure of working against the time on that retake. Great punish to take over the elbow side first, but it looked almost doable at some point when this pit came down with this spray right here from Brock. But look at how Zekin continues to bob and weave, tuck in, come out, just bait that push forward from Brock. So they could double swing in the end and do full pressure and take down their opponents. That forces now the first timeout for the side of NRG, where finally it feels like Bonkar had enough.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. The Bash brothers up there, Aspas and Zekin, 6-6, 7-3. Mata is 6-5, and Kiko is 1-6. And I said that was a big mentality change. It was Kiko sliding in and just obliterating people, pulling the rug out from under him. It looked silly how comfortable he felt in the way he was doing it. So to have the operator there and kind of flex a different way to think it would shut down MIBR, they were more than happy to make the fast play work towards B and stay away from it.
Jonah P was mentioning here at the beginning of this game where almost a way to play almost an easy mode is to play that double duelist, right? You could really try to smother sides, to take sides, to really disrupt here the defense on the attack side, and it seems to work pretty decently for MIBR. They're almost pulling it to the finish line for the side of NRG, though, in these post-plant scenarios where it gets so close.
Yeah.
It comes down to that 1v1. I think that was 2 1v1s that he lost at the very beginning at the pistol round in that 3rd round, and then just previously now a 2v2 that came down to the wire that was won here by MIBR. So it's just a matter of cleaning up some small things here to work those funnies for the retake of NRG that they could keep this game close.
Not able to follow right away on the drone. Not really wanting too much off of this as well, as they are stopped in their tracks for the time being. Just waiting for the right position to retake or someone to get some info across the map.
Yeah, they're just moving quick now, trying to be more proactive for NRG.
Yeah.
4-player stack. They see that they stopped the first push. You're already droning at the minute mark, but look at the inserts that you currently have on middle. So right now, this still allows here for MIBR to or brute force their way through, or just cancel out and cut the rotates.
That's
and brute forcing the way through works.
Second person that's died there, just like that in the last few rounds. MIBR continues to clear that. Now Brock wondering how many have made it in. Zekin sits between the pillars, between the pyramids, trying to get some effect down, but it's Zekin on both sides of the site getting work done.
I mean, that's the issue of losing mid-control for the side of NRG. You saw that Mata felt that pressure on the split later on, and he just got backstabbed there by Zekin, who's looking for that ace now, but it's stolen by Mazzino. Again, from great mid-lurks from both Tex and Mazzino. So NRG's game plan was, okay, we're going to try to fight toe-to-toe against MIBR with the fast tempo that they've been playing with the first hits that they have. But then this time we changed the tempo for MIBR, and Just a false sense of paranoia of not getting mid control for NRG really just played in their own heads. They all got backstabbed.
They must have slept with that VOD on in their bedrooms of NRG playing Breeze defense. This is absurd from MIBR right now, especially after what we saw in the first game, the mental reset for game 2, and MIBR isn't even skipping a beat as we now head into the long haul of game 3. Heading towards B. Looks like they're going to focus on it.
We had a 7-1 scoreline for NRG on the map of Abyss. Now a 7-1 on this half for MIBR.
Exactly.
Strong attack sign, and Aspas, at least at the beginning of this round, is low on HP, but still a player advantage for the side of MIBR with Scuba, who's died at a spot where he got a highlight reel just last week. So as we talked as much about Bonkar studying their opponents and really working out a strong game plan to anti-strat or find the tendencies against their opponents, Fraud does the same thing here for MIBR.
This is a 7-1 round where Verno or Aspas decide, hey, it's also an outlaw round again in the econ. So they're just in numerous ways stacking their advantages, keeping money in their hands. And this one as well, a split, they would lose a lot per round. Everybody going down here, they're getting a lot more people through to that next round.
And it brings back to that win con that we mentioned for MIBR versus Envy. It's Aspas on the snipes on the attack side. And it took 3 maps for them to finally pull that through because it was part of their game plan and it works. Until potentially now.
Kiko gets on point though. Yeah, he found his aim here. Now is the slide coming through, but Mazzino is very accurate with it. They've lost quite a bit though, and a great delay here by Brock. Both are just a shot away from going down. This would be incredible if MIBR are able to pull this off. Aspas once looks behind him for a moment, and then he'll be looking forward here to help Mazzino.
Yeah, he was afraid of a flank, so now a 3 versus 1.
Ooh.
Last player standing.
They want to seal the deal. I mean, the damage could have been called through by those who have gone down already, but NRG is not messing around here. It's going to be a defuse, smart play with Dimensional Drift. And they should be able to find Aspas at the last moment. Maybe leave him alive with his Outlaw.
They need to stay alive for NRG. They can't chase. He had like 2 players at 200 credits left. Those that died were like 100 left. They needed to keep those weapons, so I respect that. Dimensional Drift, guarantee the round.
Absolutely.
You were trailing behind by 6 before.
The push finally affects them there too. They get a little bit out of trying to take this mid area. It really hasn't paid off for them, but folds over into a win for that last round.
Let's go.
Aspas changing back to a rifle this round, so potentially upping the tempo with some mid control. Zekin going with the same pathing as before. This time, there's still the Dimensional Drift, but it's not being used, so they'll just leverage Zekin to find out where the last player is at. The stun!
Almost. Scuba's able to find him, though. Very nice control over the Viper wall there, but the swarm here by MIBR is still too much. Tax with the aim onto Brock, and now they search for Ethan, who's on his rotation over it. It looks like NRG might be gaining a footing in these rounds, and then MIBR does something like this.
Spike planted.
Well, seems like a little bit of a miscomm on the side of NRG. They did great to trade things off at the very beginning, but then you have Kiko coming through with the overdrive, just trying to open up that site behind Ethan that's lagging behind, so far behind on a rotate after a Dimensional Drift. Sorry, a Cosmic Divide. So it just allowed here MIBR to go for a 3-player swing against Kiko, and now Ethan has to clutch a 1v3.
Get in these moments where you want to be a part of the play that helps stop everything, and you almost forget about the state of the game sometimes. Mazzino cleans that one up, 9-6 for him, and 8-2 overall in the score here for MIBR.
They still keep this Cosmic Divide on the attack side from that previous round. A bit of lurks as well. I mean, they're just finding everything from sight hits to lurk kills.
Nice!
MIBR, it's a whole different story from that first look of Abyss.
Yeah. And Zekin as well on these last plays, selflessly going in, allowing still the other duelists to sit in the back, hit those shots, find the snipes. The round there for NRG was stopped in their favor. But yeah, Zekin's just being very selfless right now on this Yoru, but also making plays when he can. 11-5 there at the top of the scoreboard.
Yeah, and just based off recency bias of how things have been going here for NRG on Breeze in the past, to see that Bonkar has to use both of his timeouts on defense.
Yeah.
might pose a problem once they start the attack side, a side that they not necessarily struggled, but they had to use multiple rounds to learn how C9 did their playstyle on that map. And if you don't have any more timeouts to work with on the second half, and MIBR is pulling a whole different playstyle than Furia does with this comp, and NRG has nothing to work with, so this is the most important timeout right now for NRG to stay in this game and give themselves a chance to be one step away from being the first seed qualifying into Masters Santiago for the Americas.
All right, round 11, 8-2. Your super team is coming to life here for a moment in map 3. And man, does it look good for this squad. Can they keep it up is the question. There's still a half to go, but even more so rounds here in the first half. If NRG can get these last two, they'll be sitting much better.
There's been an explosion here towards this B side where once again a solo play anchor hold on this B side by Ethan. He's been very good dancing around this map before, already avoiding so much util, but that shot breaking the recon gives his position away. It still gets the kill though on the second.
The long-range ping was still orbing out, unfortunately, as he hid behind the wall. One teammate down. Mata flicks the crosshair to get an answer on the close box, the far, and then his left. And that's Brock and the rest of the squad coming in so fast on the reaction there. They do indeed grab themselves around after the timeout.
So you need a 4K from Mata and a 3K from Mata to,
I mean, you're not wrong.
to allow NRG to stay somewhat in this game.
Right now,
but
you're
at
not
this
wrong.
point, in that back of the site, I usually call Castle for me. I'm gonna have to start calling this spot Ethan. He's just deadly at that in that area. But at least they find that footing after the timeout, converted here after the round 10 timeout. The economy still pretty good for MIBR. Hunter's Fury available as well. They're looking to fake a conditioning for mid control. Clone to dash.
Oh my, Mata! That's insane. He almost had all three. What a showing of skill from him currently to keep NRG in these rounds. You said it was a 3 or a 4, right? That was a 2.
2.
So they
Next
might
round,
struggle
1.
a bit here. But
Actually, thankfully it's last round.
Yeah. We'll see. Still got to find Aspas, Verno, and Mazzino. Verno does the finding first. Brock goes down, so Ethan's going to be forced to peek here off contact, and it's Verno again. Take flight. So clean in these outright engages that he's finding.
And the drone actually saw Kiko towards that back of the spawn, and Scuba thought that he had a timing off that flank, but it looks like MIBR flipped that map, flipped the site, contained themselves within the back of Ethan. Ethan spot.
Hearing a little bit of reload, but that could be anything. It'd be 2-3 people stacked on each other, so you got to be very careful. As Kiko, Scuba makes a little bit of noise, so Kiko can maybe have a free look if a head was turned. Oh my gosh. Cooking him up, to saying there's almost not enough time for you to do anything, so we'll cut off the entryway. And Kiko here has to get it to half almost in this instant, because it's going to be 2 people playing cat and mouse with him right now. A great first half here by MIBR. And Aspas will find the 3K to make sure the 9-3 does go in their favor.
A strong finish for MIBR within the half. A timeout where you thought that NRG maybe could have strung 2 rounds in a row to close that gap. But MIBR continues to be amazing in these post-plant scenarios in terms of delays. And forcing that clock against NRG.
Oof, so nicely done. We're gonna be throwing it down to Emily, who's standing by with our on-site co-streamer, Lockie.
I'm here with Lockie, and now that we've seen both teams kind of live up to their expectations, NRG dominating that map 1, MIBR coming back in map 2. How are you feeling about this map 3, and is MIBR gonna be like the super team of Americas to actually find success this early?
I definitely think so. I think there's so much firepower on this team. It's so exciting seeing them play finally. I know with roster mania happening and everything, everybody had a lot to say about MIBR, and I think they're living up to the hype. I think map 1 was a little bit of a misstep for them, but it just goes to show that it could be anybody's game. But I'm backing MIBR today, and I really think they could take it all the way.
Wow, I love to hear that. You know, let's send it back to the casters and see this map play out.
Thank you so much, Lockie and Emily. Another MIBR backer, Vans. How is the prediction feeling?
I mean, it should still be okay. It should still be okay.
I think I see your crystal ball crack.
Well, it's already cracked. That's why it was taped in the first place. But that said, I mean, it's NRG on the attack side too, and I guess the sweet spot right now, if you want to have some hopes in the copium on NRG's camp, if you're an NRG's fan,
right,
is that the timeouts and the ways that they were hitting towards the A site were just A sites. So they still have openings where if they want to start to work defaulting towards middle, towards B site, we don't really have that look yet that could be studied on the side of MIBR. So I think with what, if I'm thinking of the mental game, try to work towards the A side first, just start conditioning that as well, since you already did that so many times before against Cloud9, and then activate from there. So this is a very important pistol round for them to take if they want to choose that same type of plow hit towards that A site. If it lands on their side, it gives them stronger hope right now to really work the map in the long run.
Yeah. Can it be a pistol round for NRG here? They need it. Yeah, they're going to rush it. Or at least, like you said, condition if they're going to sound like they hit it fast with 5 stampeding feet and then cut, right? But it looks like a walk up here, as much as they can to contact.
Yeah, still looking to be an 8 finish at the beginning, though. So, Viper Wall, Clone. Right now, they could be fairly quick and put all their bodies on that site so that after the plant, you might have Kiko's Wall for them to rotate if they want to, but they're flipping that site again. This
is what they did against C9. They had 3 push out under the bridge. This time, they're only keeping back site safe because Vic was able to take out 3 in that game. Here we have the double door push. A quick trade on both sides. Who's going to light up the feed first? And MIBR comes across the board, but not before Mata finds 1 more kill. Sheriffs versus the Ghost. There's a lot of firepower from MIBR if they can stack it together here. And there's one of them, Zekin, just tearing the head off of Kiko. They push in, they try to flood and get Mata and the rest of the team to show where they're hiding. Mata still playing that ring around the rosy. Is it enough though? Aspas finds him on the other side. And now Scuba. A god in the Sheriff clutch. 1 and almost a second. The spike's not even at the half right now. Scuba's got 1 more shot. Aspas is gonna find it. Fast beep is already there and Scuba does it again.
Both of them running out of bullets. Aspas is struggling, pulling out his knife, and then Scuba's just out in the open reloading. You knew he was gonna be chaos when it came down to a 5v5 retake in the end. And it was a dangerous position for Ethan to play at that mid double doors, as it's 3 players swing against him. Thankfully, he gets 1, and then Scuba is forced in a position when he has to try to clutch again. And thankfully, he does so by the saving grace of no remaining bullets for, most importantly, Aspas there. Because at least our spikes down on that side, and NRG gets that very important pistol round that they needed.
You love to see it. Brutal rounds, taking everything from everyone. It's necessary to get through for the W. 3 towards B here to start them off. Is the action going to start right away? Does NRG say we're going even faster now that we have guns? But they don't disrespect. They keep it safe here.
Yeah, it's interesting. They made a lot of noise towards that mid side, maybe trying to fake that they were moving up towards middle to push towards that spawn, but I thought it was going to be a round where they wanted to disrespect MIBR, but they're slowing things down and looking for the question mark at that mid mark. Who's going to push through? Scuba's going to spot 1, but only 1.
Dink dink. Zekin with his MIBR classic. Sentinels, buddy. There on the kill, but oh my god, Kiko doesn't need a buddy on that entry. Just flies straight through with 2 Vandal slides. Aspas looking for shots. Knows he has to peek again to at least see what's going on because he'll just get pushed out.
Right there.
Kiko's low though. And already Zekin's there on that backstab, dropping down towards that window. The gap's closed as soon as the smoke, or the spike gets planted, sorry.
No weapons really within range to grab at this point. And nothing given up by Scuba on the other side of the map. And a quick cleanup by Ethan. Always good for the control on his spray, and they get through this one. So a nice 2 rounds. We said that was kind of imperative that we saw NRG grabbing the pistol rounds, and some of them have been going to the wayside, and it's paid off for sure as they put their foot down here on the next round too.
Yeah, and if the story continues throughout this series, NRG's been quite good in terms of converting their bonus rounds as well. Keeping 3 players alive on that previous round, they could still go for a really good buy. 4 Vandals. A Marshall going into the bonus and still having enough money to work within the next round on the attack side. And that's what we were talking about before. Winning a pistol round on the A side, now it's time for them to work B, work middle, and it's a high position by Aspas to mow down 2 to start.
Trying to play quick contact jump, thinking only one person would really be watching, but that was not the case.
And it's funny that hasn't been checked because that's basically how Koala Nu plays it for Furia on top with a jet.
Crazy stuff. I mean, Mazzino was right there with the gravity well and smoke too to make it even more difficult for anyone to follow up on that jump through. And NRG on a round. Pretty gunned up here.
They have to come out with a miracle now at this point. They've wasted a lot of util and also given the hand of what they were doing after they were pushed back on the B side hit. So faking a presence on top mid, but now they just have to group up and hoping that they find the timing on how they want to walk back here for the A main control. Yeah, after that drone though, that's already the call. You have to push it. Wait, he's pushing with the spike.
Oh, scene. Yeah, that it's kind of, you're in a fog of war for a moment, you know? You're trying to make a play, you forget what's happening. That fog of war can affect anybody in these tight moments, but we see him recoup back into the safety of this drone before they make the play.
That plan still forces NRG to play inside that site.
Ooh, little chip damage, not too much there.
Player standing.
Oh my gosh, they swing together so well. And they know they're covered once they do so. Kind of Zekin pausing on that smoke though, knowing the aim is there. They wait for the roundabout to come in from Tex, and 9-5 now as the bonus goes to MIBR.
Yeah, you're starting to feel the jitters on the side of MIBR too. So yeah, not only are you staying within that site, but you were still in a position to try to trade off against each other based off the info or the contact that you get. And Kiko actually turned away from the angle that he was watching when he heard the fake TP, so just audio cues is making them react in the wrong way. And MIBR capitalizes on the flood right after that as soon as Kiko falls. So MIBR, they stop the bleeding early. No bonus round conversion for NRG. So once again, changing that story in this third map. Giving a lot of chance here for MIBR to prove that they are that super team that was built throughout the offseason.
It is so wild to see Aspas switching back and forth in his agent pool and just how much that jet excels all the time. But that's not the case for the current round. It is the push in from NRG. They need to root themselves in this site to make sure NRG or MIBR cannot get back in. Aspas is trying to do that just by himself. All 5 are here for the 5v5 retake. A few watching back towards main, actually only Kiko. Is now the smoke's clear, the dust settles and the fight begins. Trades towards that left side crab, everybody needs to get there.
It's about to get bloody.
It's about to get bloody and that time is still ticking down on the spike and move needs to happen now for MIBR. They're all activating towards the left side of the site. They're all gonna have to just clear out. Mata gets one, the Bulldog fired into the smoke isn't really going to give much back. But they're also not getting the spike just out of the smoke. This makes it so awkward. And NRG and MIBR basically look at each other for an entire round. What a play by NRG to make it weird.
You're going to have to look back at the POV of the 10 players. I think down to that 5v5 retake, it's a cloudburst to a nebula to a slice wall. It was just so many smokes around that map that it came down to that final line of scrimmage right at that spike where he got as bloody as possible.
Everything in arm's reach at the end of the round.
But all those smokes, it also slowed down the push from MIBR, and now you're seeing very similar looks into NRG towards the end of these pulse plans where they're able to really run down that clock and pressure out MIBR to make these mistakes. But thankfully, there's still another lifeline for MIBR, enough economy for another buy. The last one into the belt before they have to potentially go into a half buy here, and it's Dimensional Drift from Mata that clears out the full B site.
Yeah, Mazzino had 4 stars dropped on the site. He drops Mata as he get back into position, dismissing a few. Yeah, it was a clean shot. He put his smokes up so he knew exactly what he needed to shoot through. On the way back, dividing that site in 2 helped them to slow it down, but Kiko drops Verno on the way back in, so they have a little bit of trouble now detecting where the rest of the members are. On the side of NRG, a moment to take a breath here as MIBR sets up. The concuss comes through, and Kiko gets another one from the same spot at the back of sight. Aspas versus 2. We see it come down to this again, and he may be able to get half through the smoke. He will get half through the smoke. It's about to clear. He's going to try to hold it. Pulls him off. Just a little vuln for now. And yeah, that's going to be another round for NRG off of time. Playing so well in these moments to string it out as long as they can.
Wonder what happened there, too, with that star taking a little bit of time. I wonder if the recall was a little bit too late for Ethan, and he was struggling, waiting for the star to be activated again so he could actually pull that grab well. I still like the look. Brock going for a plant, has Hunter's Fury, and goes for the immediate Hunter's Fury.
Yeah.
So it could still continue to disrupt the site, allowing Kiko to get a lot of value back towards Castle. And also utilizing the grab well towards the end to win it off time. So that question mark that we had, how does NRG look on the attack side? It looked a little bit rough at the beginning against a breach comp that they had to be acquainted to. But now understanding here how this comp is being played by MIBR that's been seen before by other teams. Looks like they have found their footing on their own attack side, even denying that orb being picked up by Verno, which would have put him one away from getting the ult in the next round. That's a big kill to start.
Setting back up towards the B side. A little bit of sound over towards what Tex heard, but I think he can call that they have to go towards that mid side or at least start leaning. Another B hit comes in slowly for NRG on this one. And now once Kiko's present, they start to use that fast lane to get themselves into position. It makes it look so tough to defend, honestly, in this situation. Okay, I was... You just see the mini-map smothering red coins over Zekin's blue, and I was like, okay, they're going to see him eventually, right?
I mean, if Ethan keeps playing these spots and bobbing and weaving in those angles, they have to check those when they play their own attack side, too. So, very nicely done. Aspas even just trying to die to Spike.
He's being his best DJ.
I guess so.
Honestly, that's the only thing I can do when I pick this up.
Shh, I just want to listen to this song.
I'm sorry. It just shows that we need more things to inspect and play with in-game, Riot. More things.
There you go. Dyna Spike in the end, so very clean.
Yep. In
terms of how he plays that disadvantage position for Aspas, but this is now NRG closing that gap.
10-8 right now. NRG definitely having a talk at that halftime.
Guys, the pressure is on for them, bro. Pressure is on.
That the pressure's on for them.
And that's the thing, because right now how things have been going so well for NRG with that last timeout that we talked about here for Bonkar that called at level 10.
Yeah.
Or round 10, excuse me. That now was so important because now it forces MIBR to throw their own timeout, and now Bonkar has the opportunity to talk to his team again. So seeing how things have developed here for NRG on the attack side, he now has the opportunity to absorb the last few rounds and also come out with something on his own, which is why we're seeing him being very, very vocal with his team right now.
Mata topping the charts for the side of NRG at 16-13. And Aspas there on the other side with Zach in that double duelist composition is working for MIBR. It's just now that NRG is figuring it out. They're able to scrape the rounds back in their favor. The attack side is much more brutal.
So let's bring the Copian back up if you're an MIBR fan too.
All right, let's do it.
Going at a timeout when they were, starting to see a comeback from Envy on Corrode. What happens after the timeout? We have Aspas now with the operator, and he's taking forward lines.
Yeah.
And what he does very well, or did very well in Corrode, was also just utilizing the kit of the Waylay to disrespect the walls, the smokes, go for a pick, and just recall back. He can do very similar things this time around here on his Jet if they choose to do so. And so far with his position, it almost seems like he's looking for a mid double doors peek down here. He'll be passive instead, though.
He doesn't know which way he wants to put it.
After hearing the drone, though, he's...
Yeah.
Doesn't really want to force himself out yet.
He's safe, knowing the right side of the site has been taken each time, right? By NRG. They really haven't had too much care about the left with this wall that they're putting up until they go mid-site, bombs planted, and they can spread out here. Now they start to traverse that wall. They know he has the operator, and he gets out of there right quick to the help of Zekin. Oh my gosh, the rest of the team cannot do the same. Aspas goes down in the repeat. Tex falls. Mazzino has to push up, but he knows that NRG has gained so much ground now, and they're basically in his face at yellow. Oh, Brock gets the turn onto Zekin. They try to do the Cosmic Divide again, but it doesn't work.
I mean, he stayed on the right side of the wall. He should have heard that TP.
Yeah. Verno comes back. It's still a 2v2 after all of this. The walls are going to go down. The Viper walls not going up at this point as Mazzino clears another one out. 2! Verno stays on the spike with the safe hands of Mazzino, and that's the 11th round. These teams are capitalizing after their timeouts, Vance.
Talk about upgrades now for the roster of MIBR. Mazzino, who's been so good as that flex role for the team. Even though there was a small mistake from Zekin on that side. Look at that, he's on the right side of the wall. He hurt the TP out, but it's LAN, you know? So he loses that fight.
Whiffed and it's fine. We both whiffed and still won.
There you go. It had to come down to Verno and Mazzino going for hero plays. The slow scale up, catching their opponents off guard, and putting MIBR in what should have been an impossible scenario to win. And now 2 steps away of getting that victory over the champions of 2025 of NRG.
Oh my God!
2 kills closer.
Gross off the rip. Oh my God, how does his brain fit in the server? Zekin takes down Kiko. And they're still pushing from the outside of the map. You can see Aspas has an offline on the rest of it, so they are not even worried about this round. MIBR breathe a sigh of relief that they can clap back now this hard after their timeout.
You have Aspas on the flank too, so they are pinned.
Yeah. One shot, giving that up. Scuba could do a bit of damage here, but this one is just going to play out in the favor of MIBR.
Just saw him. He's just waiting for the re-peek of Verno, and that could start snowballing things for the duo of Scuba and Mata to work this site. Wait, he has a timing.
Scuba for 2,
and Pit!
Pit goes down. Gonna get wall up to get plant, wall up to get plant. Oh, the wall's gonna go down. And that's what Xena on 2! Oh, it's always at the last split second for these rounds between these two teams. They have to act and react to each other so quick in these situations.
That was such a nice attempt by Scuba as well. The pit and stays outside of it, knowing and thinking actually that somebody would be swinging through double doors. He reads it perfectly, but just unfortunately couldn't win that fight onto Mazzino, who has gone 2 double crucial kills in 2 rounds to keep MIBR at the forefront. Matt and Series point for the Brazilian organization. NRG still has money to work with, but they also have to try to work towards the pit if they decide the A side. So now this allows MIBR to funnel energy towards the B site hit where the op is currently posted from Aspas. Drone does the same thing. They're doing everything they can to utilize utility to force the players towards this B line. And look at that, it's a cancel by NRG. The call back from Ethan to group up and go for a mid-take and just to leave that pit up inside A. And once again, going for potentially that pistol round of flipping that site and fight back towards that spawn on the A site.
Pushing through double door is stopped. A little bit of a one-way put up on top of mid doors here.
Oh, this could be a second phase too. It could be a drone into the ults just to flush them out and pinch them right through the double doors after. Doesn't spot anybody.
Didn't see anybody, you're right. A few tags come out. Tex has that locked down. Not the first time we've seen him do that, as he gets a quick bunny hop to safety as well. Keeps his gun tucked tightly inside, but he still goes down to Scuba. Yeah, Zekin was never seen by the drone. Like you said, was able to just mill about in that Viper's pit now. 3 left standing here as MIBR look to finish this game on to the 3rd map of the series. Mata to even the score. 1 shot away from going down though, so things get only more tense.
But he's low on HP and they're going to go for a huge play. He's going to try to wrap back towards the main side, so these two have to stay alive in sight.
Ethan goes for a bit of a spam there, hip and hip. Verno and Aspas in sight. Zekin turns around, he gets the kill onto Mata. So aware of the situation, now it leaves the operator for Aspas in sight. Verno there to the side. It's but Scuba and Ethan, no. Still trying to hold the spike. 1 peek has to happen, and now it's only going to be Ethan left alive, the captain, to bring him into another round to keep him alive. He's got the spray. It's almost a lineup, but it's Zekin to catch. capitalize for MIBR. The super dream is alive, and MIBR take down NRG.
At .39, down to the wire, but MIBR stay composed to knock down the champs of 2025, proving that they are the super team, that they are here to just easily qualify to Masters Santiago and to be our best representative that we may have now for the Americas.
We saw just about everything from this new squad, Vansili. The tough map 1, the reset for map 2, which was a battle back and forth all the way to, what, 10-10, even more? And then just the absolute dominance and showing of a clinical MIBR who came to play on map 3.